2024 is a weird year for comic book movies because we're only getting one MCU film this year, that being Deadpool 3. It was only back in phase 1 that we were getting one MCU film per year. Since then, phase 2 onward until now, every year there's been at least two MCU films. In fact, by the time you got to phase 4, it was four MCU films coming out every year. Now we're getting only one MCU film for the first time in like 10 years. Also, we're getting free films from Sony's Spider-Man universe, the weird, awkward third wheel franchise that a lot of people don't trust, including myself. It's weird to think they're getting Craven the Hunter, Madam Web, and a third Venom movie all in 1 year. That has not happened before now. And also, the only DC film coming out this year is Joker 2, which is just a sequel to Joker. It's not part of any kind of bigger universe. That is pretty crazy to think because for so long now, since 2013, every year at least one DC film that's part of a greater universe has come out. Since 2013 up to 2023, we've gotten at least one DCEU film, but now that's not the case in 2024. We're only getting Joker 2. And on top of that, aside from all these films I just mentioned, there's no other big comic book franchise films coming out in 2024. There's a new Crow film that'll be coming out, but that's pretty much it. We're getting only 7 comic book films this year, which is pretty funny, especially coming after 2023, which was a big year for comic book movies. I mean, we got 4 DC films: Shazam 2, Flash, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman 2. 3 MCU films: Ant-Man the Wasp, Quantumania, Guardians Volume 3, and The Marvels. That's 7 right there. But then there's also Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, standalone Spider-Man films, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, sequel to Into the Spider-Verse. That's 9 right there. And then there's also the less well-known comic book films that are not focused on some major comic book character. Like Extraction 2 came out in 2023, and technically that is a comic book film, but it's different because it's an action film that is based on either a comic book or graphic novel. Then there's some other films that came out in 2023. I think 2 others that are technically comic book movies, but they're not ones that immediately come to mind because they're not based on any kind of major character. So we got a lot of comic book films in 2023, but then only 7 comic book films in 2024. Wow, that is pretty crazy. So I think it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, especially when it comes to Deadpool 3, because it's being made by Disney, Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, part of the MCU, but it also feels like a continuation of the Fox X-Men films because it's going to have Deadpool and Wolverine in it. It's not being made exclusively by Fox in this case, part of the MCU, but it feels like one of those Fox X-Men films. And also, it's going to be the first film put out by Marvel Studios in the MCU that's rated R. I don't know exactly how that's going to play out. And then when it comes to Joker 2, it's a sequel to Joker that's going to be a musical. I don't know what that's going to look like, so I have a lot of questions about this project. I really love Joker, but I don't know how Joker 2 is going to play out. So it's a very interesting year.